The end of my world didn't start with an explosion. It started with silence. Real silence. The kind that makes the hair on your arms stand up because nature knows something is coming before you do. The crickets stopped. The wind died. Even the old generator behind the barn stuttered and quit. I was closing the north gate, locking away another day of a life I didn't really want anymore. 5 years alone on this farm. 5 years since Sarah drove down that driveway and never looked back. I told myself I stayed for the wheat, for the land. But the truth, I stayed because I had nowhere else to go. Then the sky tore open. It wasn't a meteor. Meteors tumble. They burn chaotic and bright. This was controlled. A streak of violent turquoise fire cutting through the clouds like a scalpel. It didn't fall, it descended with a scream of terror. The impact knocked me flat into the dirt. The ground rolled like the ocean. My ears rang with a sound that wasn't noise, it was pressure. I should have run away. Any sane man would have grabbed his truck and driven until the gas ran out. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. And loneliness is lethal. I grabbed my rifle, more out of habit than hope, and ran toward the smoke rising from the north field. The air smelled wrong. Not just smoke, it smelled like burnt copper and ozone, like a thunderstorm trapped in a bottle. There, at the end of a 200-meter trench of scorched earth lay the ship, or what was left of it. Obsidian metal, twisted and smoking, pulsing with a dying blue light. And then, the hatch hissed open.
She didn't walk out. She spilled out. A figure stumbling into the mud, coughing fluids that definitely weren't human. I froze. My finger hovered over the trigger. She looked up, and in that moment, the rifle felt heavy and useless in my hands. She was terrifying, and she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. 7 feet tall, skin the color of a bruise, deep, royal purple, shimmering with sweat that looked like mercury. Her hair was a shock of impossible turquoise, defying gravity as it floated slightly around her head. But it was her eyes, solid black, no whites, no pupils, just 2 voids reflecting the burning wreckage behind her. She gripped her side. Blue liquid, thick and blowing, leaked between her fingers. "I am not hostility," she wheezed. Her voice sounded like 2 people speaking at once. "Do not summon the hierarchy." "The hierarchy?" I stammered, lowering the gun. "You mean the military?" She nodded, her knees buckling. "If they take me, they will dissect. I am biological asset, please." Then she collapsed, just like that, a giantess from the stars, face down in my wheat. I looked at my phone, no signal. Of course, I looked at the road, empty. I looked at her. If I called 911, men in hazmat suits would swarm this place. They'd take her, they'd cut her open, and I'd go back to being Tom, the lonely farmer who lost his wife. "Damn it," I whispered. I scooped her up. She was shockingly light, as if her bones were made of carbon fiber or hollowed glass. I carried her to the farmhouse, the first person to cross that threshold in 5 years. I laid her on the couch. Her blue blood stained Sarah's favorite floral cushions. I stared at it. Sarah would have screamed. Sarah would have worried about the upholstery. But Sarah wasn't here, and this alien woman was dying. Suddenly, her hand shot out, grip like a steel vice clamping onto my wrist. "Compartment B7, she gasped, eyes wide and frantic. "The ship, medkit, go, now." I didn't argue. I ran. I scrambled back to the burning wreck, heat blistering my skin.
I found the compartment. Inside was a silver box, smooth and seamless. No buttons, no latches. I grabbed it and sprinted back. When I burst into the living room, she was paler, the purple fading to a sickly gray. "Inject," she whispered, pointing to her neck. "Keratoid interface." "I don't know how to..." "Just press." I jammed the device against her neck. It hissed. The effect was instant and horrifying. Her veins lit up. Bright blue light surged through her body, knitting the skin back together before my eyes. She arched her back, gasping, her black eyes rolling back. Then she went limp, sleeping. I sat in the armchair across from her, rifle on my lap, watching her chest rise and fall. "What have you done, Tom?" I asked the empty room. Nobody answered. I didn't sleep. By morning, the smell of bacon filled the kitchen. I walked in, rubbing my gritty eyes, and stopped dead. She was standing there. Standing. 7 feet of alien grace in my cramped kitchen. She was wearing one of my flannel shirts, which looked ridiculous and huge on her, buttons strained across her chest. She was examining a frying pan like it was an ancient artifact. She turned. The black eyes bored into me. "Animal protein," she said. It wasn't a question. "High fat content. Inefficient energy source." "It's bacon," I said, putting the coffee pot on, "and it's delicious. Who are you?" She straightened up. "Designation, Zara 7.
My designation is Lieutenant Zara 7 of the Gora Collective.
All right, Zara. Coffee's ready.
Stellar Cartography Unit. Rank, Lieutenant. I'm Tom. Rank, Farmer." She tilted her head. "Tom, a short linguistic marker. Efficient." She pointed to the eggs. "May I consume the reproductive cells of the avian creature?" "You want the eggs?" I couldn't help but smirk. "Yeah, go ahead." She sat down. And that's when I noticed the device on her wrist. It was blinking, a soft, rhythmic red pulse. "Are you recording this?" I asked. She didn't flinch. "Standard protocol. Observing indigenous species behavior in isolation. You are a fascinating specimen, Tom." "Fascinating? I'm boring. That's why my wife left." Zara paused, a fork halfway to her mouth. She looked at me, really looked at me. "Abandonment? Explain." I poured 2 coffees. She said I loved the dirt more than her. She wanted the city. I wanted this. I waved a hand at the window, the golden fields swaying in the wind. She left 5 years ago. Haven't spoken to her since. Zara chewed slowly. "In my hive, my society, solitude is considered a disease, a pathology. To be alone is to be broken." Well, I took a sip of black coffee. Then I guess I'm terminal. For the next week, we fell into a strange, impossible rhythm. I worked the fields, she watched. But she didn't just watch, she analyzed. One afternoon, I was fixing the tractor. The engine was shot, a busted gasket I couldn't afford to replace. Zara walked up, her shadow falling over me. She touched the engine block with a long, slender finger. "Thermal inefficiency," she stated. "It's broke, Zara." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small glob of gray putty, something from her ship. She smeared it over the crack. "Nanite sealant," she said. "Try now." I turned the key. The tractor didn't just start, it purred. It roared with more power than the day I bought it. I looked at her. She offered a small, tentative smile. It was the first time I'd seen her smile. It didn't reach her eyes, but it changed her face. It made her look less like a monster and more like a miracle. "Thank you," I said. "Efficiency increases survival." But the red light on her wrist blinked a little faster. Day 10 brought the sky down, a tornado warning. The sky turned a bruised green. Sirens wailed in the distance, a lonely, mournful sound. "We have to move," I shouted over the wind. "Barn, now." I grabbed her hand. Her skin was cool, like touching polished stone. We ran through the rain that felt like bullets. The barn doors slammed shut behind us, cutting off the roar of the wind, leaving us in the dusty, hay-smelling dark. We huddled in the storm cellar. It was pitch black, except for her. She was glowing, not reflecting light, creating it. Her veins pulsed with a soft, bioluminescent blue rhythm. It beat in time with the thunder outside. She was shaking. "The atmospheric pressure," she whispered, her voice tight. "It is violent. Will the structure hold?" "It stood for 100 years, I lied. The roof groaned above us. "It'll hold." She pulled her knees to her chest. "I have never experienced unmitigated chaos. My world, everything is controlled. Weather, emotion, life, death. This planet is wild." "That's why we survive," I said, moving closer. "Because we adapt." She looked at me. In the blue glow of her own skin, she looked vulnerable. "Tom," she said, "I must disclose a variable." "What?" She tapped her wrist. The blinking red light turned off. I stopped the recording. My heart hammered against my ribs. "Why?" "Because my mission is not observation." She looked down at her hands. "My world, Kepler 442b, is dying. Our star is expanding. We have 5 cycles left before incineration. I was not sent to explore, Tom. I was sent to scout." I felt a cold knot in my stomach. Scout for what? For colonization, for conquest. The silence in the cellar was louder than the storm outside. "You're an invader," I whispered. "I was," she corrected. She looked up, and for the first time, her black eyes shimmered with something like tears. "The Council believes humanity is primitive, violent, expendable. They want to wipe you out and take the planet. My report determines if the invasion begins." "And what does your report say?" She reached out. Her cold hand touched my face. Her thumb traced the scar on my jaw. "My report says that you fix things that are broken," she whispered. "That you love a land that gives you nothing back but silence. It says that humans possess a capacity for resilience that my people lost 1,000 years ago." "Zara, I cannot doom you, Tom. I cannot let the ships come." The storm raged outside, but in that cellar, the world narrowed down to just 2 people. One made of dirt and regrets, the other made of starlight and duty. I didn't think. I leaned in. I kissed her. She tasted like ozone and mint, like the static electricity before lightning strikes. She froze for a second, then melted into it. Her arms, strong enough to bend steel, wrapped around me gently. Her glow intensified, turning the dark cellar into a nebula of blue light. For the first time in 5 years, I wasn't alone.
The storm passed, but the calm was worse. We sat on the porch the next morning. The air was crisp. The tractor sat in the yard, fixed. The wheat was standing tall, but Zara was looking at the sky. "The beacon," she said softly. "My ship sent a signal when I crashed. They are coming. A rescue vessel. It arrives in 2 days." "And then what?" I asked. "I go back," she said, voice flat. "I tell the High Council that Earth is toxic, that the bacteria here is fatal to our biology. They will quarantine the solar system. You will be safe." "And you?" I asked. "What happens to you?" She didn't look at me. "I lied to the High Council. The penalty is deletion. Death? Erasure of memory, of self. I will become a drone." I stood up. I paced the porch. The wood creaked under my boots. "No," I said. "It is the only way, Tom, to save your world." Screw the world, I growled. I'm talking about us. She looked at me, shocked. There is no us, Tom. We are different species. I don't care. You said you found resilience here. Well, prove it. I grabbed her shoulders. Is there another way? Another option? She hesitated. Her eyes searched mine. There is a file, a dead file, a planet in the Sector 7 Nebula, TI 715b. It is uninhabited, fertile, 2 suns, but it is wild, dangerous. It would require terraforming, hard labor, isolation. Does it have wheat? I asked. She blinked. The soil is compatible. And does the council know about it? They deemed it too much work. They want a ready-made world like Earth. I looked at my farm. My grandfather built this house. My father died in that field. Sarah left me in this driveway. This land was my past, but standing in front of me, glowing in the morning sun, was my future. Take me with you, I said. Tom, you cannot leave. This is your home. No, I said, taking her hand. This is just dirt. Home is where you don't feel alone.
2 days later, the rescue ship descended. It was massive, silent, and terrifying. But Zara was ready. She uploaded the false data. Earth, toxic, status, quarantine. Then she engaged the manual override on the rescue shuttle. Destination? The ship's computer droned. Zara looked at me. I sat in the co-pilot seat, a bag of seeds on my lap, the only thing I took from Earth. Sector 7, she commanded. TI 715b, warp speed. We watched Earth shrink in the rearview monitor, a blue marble disappearing into the void. Zara, the bank loans, the empty nights, all gone. 3 years later, the suns here are different. One is gold, the other is a soft, burning red. When they set, the sky turns a color that doesn't have a name in English. The wheat grows purple here. It's taller, stronger. The bread we make from it tastes like honey and iron. I wiped the sweat from my forehead and leaned on my hoe. The farmhouse we built is strange, half wood, half spaceship metal, but it keeps the double winds out. Tom! I turned. Zara was walking through the purple fields. She wasn't wearing the flannel shirt anymore. She wore a tunic woven from the fibers of the native vines. And she wasn't alone. She was carrying him, our son. He has my nose, my messy hair, but his skin is a soft, pale lavender, and when he laughs, his eyes flash with tiny, beautiful stars. He found a beetle, Zara called out, smiling, a real smile that reached her eyes. He wants to know if it is protein. I laughed, a deep, loud sound that echoed across the valley of a world that belongs only to us. Tell him no, I shouted back. Tell him dinner is almost ready. I looked out at the horizon. No military, no lonely nights, no silence. Zara walked toward me, the 2 suns framing her like a goddess. I lost a world, sure, but I found a universe.